Thank you, Speaker. I rise to make a brief contribution to the report that is being tabled, the Parliamentary Budget Office 2023 post-election report, or at least the Public Accounts Committee report on that report, and acknowledge the comments made by the Chair. As a member of the Public Accounts Committee, I wanted to put on the record the fact that in addition to the single recommendation that is made in this report, that the committee recommends the New South Wales Government consider and responds to the recommendations made in the Parliamentary Budget Office 2023 post-election report, that the committee also found and included as finding number one that the committee recognises the importance of the recommendations in the Parliamentary Budget Office 2023 post-election report and will review the government's response to and any implementation of recommendations within 12 months of tabling this report. My reason for wanting to put this on the record is that a number of reports by the Parliamentary Budget Office, at least in the last two cases of the previous election in 2019 and this one in 2023, had made similar recommendations around consideration as to whether or not it is the right approach to have the Parliamentary Budget Office established and then disbanded, and then established and then disbanded between parliamentary terms and elections. Particularly, I point to the sections of the Parliamentary Budget Office report on page 37, where it talks about an updated mandate for involving conditions, and again on page 41, where it talks about the role of a permanent Parliamentary Budget Office and alternatives. I make these comments because I feel it is critical that we don't just see the government of the day never seeing it as their highest priority to deal with the Parliamentary Budget Office process, with respect to recognising that a government has an agenda to deliver, but we as parliamentarians and the Public Accounts Committee has a role to play in ensuring that we as a parliament ensure that the Parliamentary Budget Office is fit for purpose and is delivering for our democracy outside of the cycle of a specific government or an election process. And so I do hope that the committee will take the time to be able to look in more detail around the government's response and see whether or not we can use the fact that we have a more diverse parliament than ever before in terms of representation to steer through potentially a way forward to look at an expanded remit and a role of the Parliamentary Budget Office. I wanted to put on the record as well, noting that the Federal Treasury has just started the implementation of their Measuring What Matters framework, the first national wellbeing measures that will be undertaken by Treasury, which will not just look at costings and the cost in terms of the bottom line of a budget, but rather the impact on society and the more integrated challenges around how we see budgeting and costings done in this state. I believe that it is a role that the Parliamentary Budget Office could play and that the Public Accounts Committee could play in being able to look at what we could be doing better in New South Wales to address the various measures for what a measure or a policy or an announcement costs, or indeed the cost of not acting in a certain way. And I feel at the moment we are restrained by the fact that there are limitations on the Parliamentary Budget Office being created and then disbanded without the ability to have that ongoing consideration of the complexity of these matters throughout the political cycle. So absolutely support the report that has been brought to the Parliament today and look forward to further discussions and debates both in the Public Accounts Committee and also in this chamber about how we can progress a better approach to ensuring that our budgeting in this state reflects the needs of our communities.
Thank you.